Yogis, my name's Emma. I'm going to be guiding you through a quick and gentle but energizing flow today. Great for a morning routine. You might want to have a blanket or towel under your knees. And of course, it's always good to have some blocks handy or any other prop that you like to use. We're going to start in child's pose. So we'll sink the hips towards the heels, reach nice and long through the shoulders. Spread wide through your fingers, root your palms to the mat. Bring some awareness to your breath, making the inhales deeper and more expansive, the exhales nice and long, engaging the core to empty all the way. Now exhaling, we're going to wave forward into a cat pose, keeping the spine rounded and the tail tucked. And shift back into child's pose and inhale to snake forward low into a cobra. Take it easy this first time, but roll the shoulders back and down. Again, we'll shift the hips back to child's and repeat, exhaling into a cat pose. Really energizing through the arms. Inhaling to wave through cobra again. Maybe a little bit higher this time. And again, sink back into child's pose. And this time push forward into cat pose as though it's the glutes that are creating the length in the spine here. And pull the shoulder blades apart from each other. And now when we'll inhale through cobra, we might go a little bit higher this time, but really focus on drawing the shoulder blades together to open the heart up. You can look up if it's comfortable, but you don't need to strain the neck. Looking forward is fine as well. Now in Cobra, we're going to look over the right shoulder, rolling weight gently into the left hip. Stare at the heel. And come back through center. And then look over the left shoulder. You can stay dynamic in this pose if you want. There's really no right or wrong here. Just whatever shape's feeling good for you today. Let's recenter and melt back down to the mat and push ourselves back up to tabletop, stacking hips over knees, shoulders over wrists. And point the fingers away from each other, shifting weight from side to side to warm up the wrists. And we'll spin the fingers to face each other. Keep going, keep breathing. And point the fingers back towards your knees. And gently shift your weight back to open up the inner wrists. You really don't need to push hard with this stretch to get a lot out of it. So take it easy, listen to your body. And flip the hands over one at a time, pressing gently onto the back of the palm. You really don't need to pour too much weight into the wrists here. Just a little lean will really work wonders for opening them up. And we'll lay the palms flat on the mat now. And sink your hips back for child's pose. And wave forward with the hips circling to the right. Inhaling as you roll through cobra and exhaling back to child's. Take 2 more circles like this and then switch directions. And let this movement come intuitively. Again, there's really no right or wrong, just waking the body up, tuning into what feels good, what we're craving, what the body needs, maybe what it doesn't like, what it's not ready for yet. It's all part of it. And from child's pose, we'll come back to tabletop and center the left palm under the collarbone. Then open the chest up to the right, inhaling and expanding. Thread the right arm under the left shoulder. Rest the right ear on the mat and reach forward with the left arm, finding length in both shoulders this way. Keep breathing deeply. And we'll place the left hand under the shoulder to lift yourself up. Then repeat on the left side, centering the right hand before we twist so that we can really aim to stack the shoulders as much as possible. And thread the left arm through. And again, keep the breath nice and deep, long, so you can relax into this pose. Let it feel luxurious. And come back to tabletop. And wag the tailbone just to keep things loose. And grab some blocks if you like to use them. We're going to move into Puppy Pose. So this can be done with the elbows bent or the arms extended, with or without blocks. Whatever form you choose, let's just work on keeping the hips stacked right above the knees. This helps to make sure your lower back doesn't get involved. This is really about opening up the thoracic spine, the upper back. I like to start with my palms together and my thumbs pressed against the nape of my neck. It's a gentle opening for me. And then eventually I like to lift the pair of hands to point straight up. It's a subtle change, but I can really feel the difference in my triceps. So feel free to experiment, see what feels best for you, see where there are areas that you could use some more opening. Work on keeping those inhales just as long as the exhales. We'll come up slowly. Arms might feel a little weak, so take your time. And we can set the blocks aside. Then come back to tabletop and extend the right leg back for 5 little upward kicks to wake up the glutes. We're going to do this slow and with control, engaging the hamstrings. And then repeat on the left. 5 kicks, really firing on through the glutes to protect the low back. Now we'll lift the right leg again, but also extend the left arm forward, inhaling and reaching, and exhaling to draw the knee towards the elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, contract. Inhale, extend, and then bend the right knee and reach back to grab the inner foot or ankle. Finding tiger pose. Square your collarbone to the top of the mat and kick back into the left palm with the right foot. It feels like back, but it looks like up. It's a fun little trick. Release and wag the tail again, and then we'll repeat on the opposite side. Inhaling to reach through the left leg and right arm. Exhaling to draw the elbow to the knee, rounding the spine. Inhale yourself long. Exhale, round. Extend. And then reach back to catch the left foot or ankle. Find a focal point for your gaze straight ahead and try not to worry about what this pose looks like. Just keep kicking, fire on your proprioception to keep your balance. And release and recenter. And we'll extend the right leg behind you again, sweeping it over to the left and tucking the toes. So push into the ground with the right hand and reach for the right ankle with your left. Pulling length in the side body, especially the lower core muscles near the hip. Now we'll open up to awkward airplane, activating those same lower core muscles. Right leg kicks to the right with the foot flexed. Left arm reaches left for balance. Recenter in tabletop. Then we'll lift the left leg, crossing it back behind the right knee to find that same side body stretch again. One side might be much tighter than the other. That's totally normal. Just something to notice. Open up on an inhale to awkward airplane. This pose can feel super weird if you're not used to doing it, but it is amazingly helpful if you're working on arm balances and other intense balance poses. Let's come back to tabletop and lift the feet and shift forward for 5 quick Chaturanga Pushups, keeping the core engaged and the collarbone nice and wide. Exhale to lower, inhale to lift. Aim to keep the bend of your elbows at 90 degrees or wider. Dipping the shoulders below the elbows can actually lead to injury over time. So this is a case where going too low is actually worse than taking it easy. Now lay down flat on your belly, reach the hands forward, Root the pelvis in the mat, lift the chest, and pull through the arms as though you could actually pull space between your vertebrae. This is a great pose for grounding and giving yourself a boost of confidence at the same time. Relax onto the stomach again. And with our next inhale, we're going to lift through the arms and legs in Locust Pose, reaching the arms forward for Superman variation. Again, great for confidence boosting. And keep breathing. You may feel like your exhales are going to collapse you, but they won't. And we'll release and make a pillow for your head with your hands, rocking the hips side to side. And spread the arms out wide to a T. Roll over onto your right side with the right arm still pinned behind you. And use the right foot and the left hand as kickstands, either behind you or in front of you, whatever feels best. You can move slowly to find the right angle, or the angle that serves you best. There is no right here. And roll back through center, and we'll repeat on the left side, opening up the left shoulder, giving the spine a gentle twist. Let your breath slow down here. And roll back to center. And we'll shift the hips back to child's pose. This time maybe with the knees wide. And let your breath slow as we move towards the end of the practice. You always have the option in child's pose to keep the knees closer together or wide apart. You can also reach the hands back towards the feet to give the shoulders a nice little restorative break. We're going for ultimate relaxation here. Everywhere from the jawbone to the soles of the feet. Just let go, let go, let go. Inhaling, we'll start to roll the torso up, sitting on the heels. Sweeping the arms overhead and pulling prayer hands through heart center. Feeling nice and open through the upper body. You can bow your head over prayer hands and consider setting an intention for the rest of your day. What ways can we find peace? What ways can we let go? Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you're feeling amazing now. Come back and see me again soon. Namaste, wishing you peace.